All right, we're back. Hello again. Today we have a crown design on 231. Going to do another zirconia Serakim PL. So in the administration phase, we've designated that crown to be designed. We will next trim our models. Right, so we will use the cut tool. We're going to get rid of all of this noise, things that don't help us or the algorithm to make her crown. Goodbye. That is now out of the way. Check the opposing arch, probably have some more cheek right here. We don't want this cheek to be considered when the articulator is moving the jaw later in the design phase. So that has now all been cleaned. Our model axis lines her up on a virtual articulator. That's good. Take the blue dot, put it in the center of the tooth so that we can draw our margin. Now, as you may be able to tell from our scan, this was a pretty difficult crown prep. We got through it, but sometimes when you're all the way in the back of the mouth and you've got a really deep margin like this, it'd be tough, but we got it done. We're going to draw our margin twice. So first time around, I don't really care where that line went. Second time around, I'm going to be much more particular. That looks good. Anytime it's a little wavy like this in the back, it doesn't really matter, but I am a perfectionist and it needs to be straight. Otherwise, I will toss and turn in bed at night. So we're going to fix this, even though it doesn't really matter for the algorithm. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. All right, perfect. She had decay on the lingual there. That's why that margin dips the way it does. We'll look at it from a different perspective. You see that going pretty well below the gum line. We were able to get it to stop bleeding with some Hemodent. Works really, really well on a cotton pellet. You can see that scan is nice and dry there so that we can do our job and design. Little edge, could have trimmed that in the edit model, but it's not going to hurt us. It'll be fine. I'll finish drawing this margin here. That all looks good. Okay. Next, we are going to insertion axis. This is where we're going to line our tooth up with the long axis of the or line our insertion path up with the long axis of number 30 or the neighboring tooth. Check for undercuts. Looks good to me. Next screen. The restoration parameters tell the algorithm how much thickness to apply to the crown design or how much spacer to leave between the tooth and the crown. So in this case, we want 120 microns both on the occlusal surface and radially around the axle walls. We're going to click OK there. Totally fine with all of these factory presets there. It's designed specifically for the material I'm using. Sometimes I'll look at the positioning tool. I'm just going to generate the first proposal to see if I even need that screen. Oftentimes I do not. So, initial proposal looks mostly okay. We've got a little high spot right there. Let's get rid of that with our form remove. It's going to remove all of that color that's not double turquoise. So double turquoise is light contact. Anything that's green, yellow, or red is simply too much occlusion for my liking. Fix it. Use our shape circular. We are right on the cusp here. I have to dance with this just a little bit. So that little small, tiny, thin bubble right there, you can see that's blue. That means it's just a little too thin. So we're going to bulk that up just a little bit. Now it's a little green. That's okay. I'm okay with a tiny dot of green, as long as it's thick enough. So 0.6 is what we need. Looks like we're closer to 0.7 once you include the spacer and the material thickness. So that's all fine and dandy. And you can see how much occlusion she's got on this tooth. So this tiny little green dot there is not really going to hurt us. All right. Next thing we'll do, let's put the upper arch on to see where her bite wants to be. This all looks fine. Let's get rid of that tooth. We're going to strengthen this contact on this cusp with our Shape Circular tool. We're going to bring that up just a little bit. There we go. Got that double turquoise. Little chef's kiss right on the cusp tip. Chew up your cheeseburger, your chicken wing, whatever you're into, your steak, chicken tendies. This tooth's going to be a chewing machine. All right. Fissure height looks good. Occlusion looks good. Contour looks okay. I could bring this out some. That looks better. Let's get rid of these other neighboring teeth. We're going to check this contact. And for a distal, the most distal tooth in the arch, this actually should be okay. Sometimes I'll leave a little bit of yellow because I want to have really good contact on that last tooth. In this case, I'm just going to be okay with a broad green contact. So this is a little more broad than I would typically do, but because it's the last tooth in the arch, I really want to have that good, solid snap on the floss. So I'm going to leave that. Check. Up teeth on. There is our crown design. We should see what happens when her jaw moves around. So we will run through this articulator computational algorithm, whatever InLab does. It's a bunch of standard measurements to relate how the standard human jaw would move around. So it's not specific to this patient, but it's close enough that I feel good with it and it works well on my hands. So purple shows where that jaw moves. I don't have any penetration, so that's all good. You may notice there's some tissue contact on the backside. See that red? Tissue contact doesn't bother me. We know that when we deliver this crown, that tissue is just going to move out of the way. So this crown is designed and ready to mill.